Hey guys, Long Game Sky here, and welcome back to Quarantine Movie Reviews. I know I stopped doing this for a while. I don't really know why. Like, I planned to do like a few. But to be honest with you guys, I'm not gonna make up some crap like, well, I didn't have enough time. Like, I had time. For some reason, I just did not think of doing it. I really don't know why. I can't explain to you guys. But hey, that's not the point. We're back, and today we're back with The Legend of Korra. Now, let me explain to you my adventure through this freaking show. I mean, it's not really an adventure. It's just a really story. But I've been avoiding this show, like purposely. I've been avoiding. Like, I know it came on Netflix like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. But like, even when it came on Netflix, I was like, alright, I'm not gonna watch this. And the reason why I refused for so long to watch this is because mainly because of the stuff I heard on the internet, like, and from my cousins and all that, who, I don't know why he looked up so many videos on this show for some reason, but that's besides the point. The point is, he told me a lot. I heard it, and I was like, okay, if this truly, like, he was telling me stuff like, alright, it's so bad, bro, it's gonna ruin your enjoyment of the original show, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay. And then when it came to Netflix, he's like, hey, bro, you wanna watch it? I'm like, no, no, I don't wanna watch it. Like, because, like, if it's gonna ruin my enjoyment of the original show, which is something that has never, like, a follow-up series has never, altered my enjoyment with the original show. That has never happened to me before. And I was like, man, it ain't gonna start now. Like, why, if it's gonna actually, because, like, as you guys know, I love the original Avatar. If you don't believe me, watch the, review I did, like, a couple months back about it. It's like my top 3 favorite cartoons. Behind Clone Wars and Samurai Jack. Like, Avatar is a masterpiece. Like, those 3 cartoons are like the Hall of Famers for me, masterpieces. But that's besides the point. So, like, I was like, man, if it's actually gonna make me not enjoy the original show, I'm not gonna watch it. Like, why am I gonna watch that? Like, if it's so bad that it's gonna make me not enjoy the original show, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just not gonna watch it then. I don't care if it's on Netflix. I'm just not gonna watch it. And so, like, I've been purposely avoiding this show for like months. Well, sorry for like all the, for like all the time it was on Netflix. I've just been avoiding it. Like, I've just been not at all interested in watching any of it. Like, I watched like the first episode and I was like, all right, that wasn't that bad. But I know it's probably gonna get worse, so I'm not gonna venture any more beyond the safe zone. So I'm just gonna stick to my gut and just not watch the rest of it, no matter what. I don't care. So, like, fast forward to like Wednesday or whatever. Like freaking no, Tuesday. It's my cousin's birthday, right? Like, the exact same one that's been telling me all this crap about Korra, right? He's been freaking so, like, there's like a problem with PlayStation right now. That like, makes us not able to, like, play with each other. Like, we can play online, but we can't, like, send each other invites or receive invites or create parties or any of that. Like, super weird. I have some conspiracies about that, but that's besides the point. So, like, we can't do it. So he's like, hey, you want to watch them? I'm like, okay. He's like, yo, so I heard, my mom forced me to, wanted to watch Korra, and we watched it, and we watched the entire first season, and to be honest, it wasn't that bad. Man, if only you looked on, if you only you guys saw the look on my face when he said it actually wasn't that bad. Like, this is the same guy that has been bashing the show, like, telling me all this crap about it, saying that it's the worst thing ever, and now he's like, Now he's like, actually, it ain't that bad. I'm like, what? And so I'm like, okay, I'll give it a watch. Cause to be honest, guys, like us Avatar fans, we're kind of drowning for content right now. Like we don't have crap since Nickelodeon, Disney won't. I'm sorry, not Disney. Nickelodeon won't do anything with the Avatar property. But hey, that's a topic for another video. That's besides the point. Like I was like, okay, let me give this a chance then. If you say it's not that bad, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll like this. And so I ended up watching like season 1, season 2, and season 3. And I pretty much heard a bunch of spoilers about 4 even before I even pay attention to the show. Um, I had like a bunch, so I pretty much knew what was going to happen in 4 anyway. Um, so I didn't really bother to watch that, full disclosure, but I know a lot of stuff that happens. So what do I think about The Legend of Korra? It's not that bad. Oh, I probably just got like, I don't know, 30 dislikes. No, not that many people like my videos. But like, I truly don't feel like it's that bad. Like, I'm not giving. This is a non-biased person. Again, I was coming in here with negative feeling. I was like, okay, I probably am not gonna like this. This is probably gonna suck. And I came in there with negative feelings, and I came out like, okay. Now, like, it's not good. I still think, like, the show's like mediocre, in my opinion. It's like mediocre, extremely mediocre. They do something, like, there's some things in it that's like really cool, but there's some things that are really bad. It's like yee. It's kind of it's a mixed bag in a way. Like that, like this show is just extremely mediocre to me. So let's get into the review. So first thing, so let's start with season 1. Season 1, I actually found myself enjoying. I actually enjoyed the entirety of season 1. I have to be honest, like I really actually enjoyed season 1. Like, sure, there's some stupid stuff in it I'll get to later, but right now we're just discussing the positive. There is like, it wasn't like the first season. I feel like it's really good because I'll tell you things that made me like the first season. Right, the character of Korra wasn't actually that annoying. Like, so like the Avatar, she was not that annoying. I have to be honest. Like, I was not annoyed by her. Like, I was hearing all the, and again, bro, I was hearing all this stuff about, man, she's so annoying, bro. She's a brat. And I'm like, man, like in season 1, I'm like, bro, I don't see any of that. Like, like she's not. I'm not really invested in her character, but like she's not annoying. Like, she's enjoyable. Like, I can tolerate her. She's not freaking. I don't know, Rey from the Star Wars sequels or anything like that, where it's just like, oh my gosh, shut up. But yeah, I found myself quite. I like the characters. I wasn't really invested in them, but you know, I was not. I did not feel any negative thoughts towards them. I was like, okay, cool, it's cool. Like I like them. I actually like them. And I'm not really, again, I'm not invested, but I like them. Like, they're cool. The character of Bolin, the character of Mako were pretty cool at first. Character of Wasami had a pretty interesting dynamic with her father and all that crap. Like that was pretty interesting. The villain. The villain is really good in season 1. I really love the villain in season 1. What's his freaking name? Asama. Asama is really freaking cool. Like everything from his freaking design to his. Like, I wish I had a picture of him, but I didn't have time to get a picture of him. But like, just look up Osama Korra. Not. Like, you just look up Korra villains, and you'll probably see him on like the first page or whatever. Like, he's a villain in season 1, and I actually really liked what they did with them. Now there's some stuff that happens in like the final 2 episodes I'm iffy about. But right now, while we're discussing the positives, we'll do this. Like, I really like Asama. Like, he is a really investing villain. Like, he had a cool power. They could take away others' bending. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. Like, the fact that he could, well, by the way, hold up. I'm sorry I didn't disclose this early in the video, but spoilers. I'm going to be saying spoilers throughout this entire joint. Starting now. The fact that he could bloodbend, I found was pretty cool. Like, I'm like, okay, he can bloodbend. That's cool. I like that. And he did some really cool stuff with it later on. And let's see, his voice was also really good. And pretty much, like, I just found him, like, overall, like, his whole ideology was very unique. Like, again, I just found him, like, a really freaking cool villain. He's pretty awesome. And I really like the way, I like the dynamic between his brother and all that. Even though I think I had, like, a better idea. I mean, like, I don't know if it'd be, like, I feel like it's a better idea, but, because, like, earlier in the show, right, one of his first scenes, he speaks to his, henchmen, well, kind of, like, group. He doesn't really lead henchmen, but, like, a group of people. He was, like, a group of people, that hates benders. Like, they hate all benders. And he pretty much wants to eradicate bending as a whole. Like, and that's his power. He can eradicate bending and pretty much destroy it, and pretty much disconnect anyone's like connection with bending. Like, again, pretty cool power in my opinion. And he leads this group who pretty much hates all bending, and they pretty much see him as a kind of a messiah of sorts. Because he can, has his power to take away bending. Even though later it's revealed that he uses bending to take out bending. He uses bending to take out bending, which doesn't really make sense. But again, we'll get to that later. I found his motivations pretty cool. But like earlier, like I had an idea, right? Because Here's what I thought. So while he was announcing his motivation to his group and all that, and said his backstory, which is false, by the way. Like, it's proved to be false later. But here's what I thought. I was like, oh shoot, because he says his father was killed when a firebender went to his village and pretty much like killed a lot of people there, and I was thinking, oh shoot, maybe this is the boy that Zuko in the original series went to this village, and he was hiding the fact that he was a firebender, because the Fire Nation, all that doesn't have, and it was like an Earth Nation village. And he was trying to hide the fact that he was a firebender. In fact, he was trying to hide the fact that he was, actual blood related to the royal family, the Fire Lord and all that. He was trying to hide all of that. But later in the episode, he had to use it because these corrupt soldiers, these corrupt guards, these soldiers are supposed to be protecting the town from the Fire Nation, but instead they just rob and, they just rob people and abuse their citizens, because they're pretty much stronger earthbenders than them. And later, they fight Zuko when they're trying to not kill, but like it's like when they try to harm the family that Zuko's kind of been hanging with. He has to use firebending, and when he uses it, the boy, like the son of the family, hates him because their brother earlier was killed. Their brother, and I don't know really what happened to the father, but like the brother was killed by Fire Nation soldiers, and pretty much the kid hates the Fire Nation. So when he discovers that despite the fact that Zuko saved his life, he still hates Zuko because he's a firebender, and it also didn't help that Zuko pretty much gave up the fact that he's blood related to the Fire Lord, like he's the Fire Lord's son, and the kid pretty much hates him because he pretty much blames him for the death of his brother. And that's what I thought Oman was. That's what I thought Oman was. I was like, oh shoot, is that the son? Is that the son, like the little kid that the family was taking over? I'm sorry, was that the little kid that that Zuko met, you know, in that Earth Nation village? But no, it's not. It's like a way different backstory. Like Oman's just this son of a gangster who fled to the Water Tribe, and then proceeded to to be like trained, but he doesn't really like his father because he abused his little brother, and all this is like, it's like, okay, that's cool. Like it's like, okay, that's cool too, I guess. But I'm like, okay, I feel like my idea was kind of better. I feel like that would have had like an emotion. I feel like that would have been a cool callback. But it's fine. It's fine. I do like the brother dynamic, cause his brother, who I'll show on screen right now, that's his brother. That's Oman's brother. Pretty much what he ends up doing is the fact that once he's revealed to be a bender, who pretty much caught, like the fact he reveals he's a bender, which causes his people to turn against him, and Oman flees with his brother, who he's kept imprisoned, and they want to start a new life, and pretty much Oman's brother blows the boat that they're traveling on up on purpose, because like he kills them both, because he's like pretty much there's no hope for this family anymore. And again, I really like the way he went out. I feel like that was a good way to end the sibling rivalry. Oh, I can't speak. That they had. Like I really like the way that ended. I feel like that was ballsy, and that was, that felt like that. It felt right. It felt right. It actually felt right to me. Now, as for freaking negatives, my biggest problem with the show, and I'm serious, like through all the seasons, this is my biggest problem with the show. The technology is too advanced. It's so advanced. Like in the original Avatar: The Last Airbender series, right? They were like, I don't know, like the Middle Ages or something like that. Like they were, it's not a determined time period, but they still weren't using, like they had like, had to use like old school tactics like stone, to like move stuff and all that. They still had to have like carts made out of stone. They still had to use horses and all that, like kind of like the Wild West, kind of like it was like the Wild West, but like a little bit before that. But like, here's the problem, and I wouldn't mind the technology being advanced if it was not like I can handle it being like, okay, they got, instead of like horses, they got, I don't know. I mean, like I'd be fine if they had like, I don't know, mine carts or trains. I mean, they had trains in the original show. Like it was legit like the Wild Wild West. But the difference is the fact that in like Avatar they had stuff like this. To like stuff in Korra that has like freaking like Korra's freaking like cars, radios, flashlights, motorcycles. Let's see, infinity gauntlets that shoot out plasma and electricity. They have mechs that look like the big daddies from BioShock. I'm like, what the like this? And guys, by the way, this series does not take place in the 1920s. Like it feels so freaking advanced. Like it feels like we went from like, I don't know, the 1100s to the 1920s. It feels like a whole 8-generation difference happened. And like they provide like something like close to an explanation with Osami's father that is developed all this crap. And I'm like, this sucker should have been, this sucker must be Einstein, Nikola Tesla, Thomas Edison, all of them in one freaking person. Because if he did all of this in 60 years, and he probably wasn't even alive when the original show happened. So it's like, what the heck? And pretty much right. And like here's another thing with the continuity, right? Here's another thing with the continuity. Here's another thing. We freaking like we see there's this freaking chief of police, right? There's chief of police, right? And she is the direct. She's a soul metal bender, earthbends sometimes in the show. She is the daughter of Toph. She has a younger sister who's also a daughter of Toph. But she's the older one. The older one has gray hair, wrinkles, a scar that's aged, and she's like in her like 60s, like in her like early to mid 60s. And her younger sister, who also has gray hair, does not like, she's in like her 50s or late 40s, like mid 50s, like maybe very early 60s. And there's a flashback sequence with them, right? There's a flashback sequence, right? They have great, in the flashback sequence, the older sister, by the way, has black hair, no gray hair, like seriously, no gray hair, no wrinkles, no scar, like just like obviously like in the past, like in the far past, right? And the younger sister is like a freaking teenager. Now I'm like, okay, this must be like the far past. No, low key. I look in the back, and it is in the past. It is in the far past. In fact, even Toph still has black hair, not even gray hair. But in the present, she's looking like a whole grandma. I mean, she practically is, but like, it's like, and it's like, okay, this must take me like a long time ago. But then you look in the background, and the technology is the same. It's the same as in present day. It's like, wait, what the heck is the continuity? What is the freaking continuity dealing with these, like, the freaking technology here? It's like, they have the exact same crap. Like, nothing changes. It's not old, it's like, it's not freaking, has an older design. It's like, what the freak? Like, what is the continuity? It's all over the place. There's also another thing with season 1. There's like 2 other things I want to get out of the way with season 1, right? The first thing is like Oman's, the whole thing with Oman's father. So pretty much the whole thing with Oman's father is that he was a crime boss who had a very special ability. he was able to bloodbend without the full moon. Back, and I'll get back on that later. He's able to bloodbend without the full moon, right? And this made him extremely dangerous, right? So while in court, he uses his bloodbending to get out, to pretty much escape from court, right? Aang captures him and takes away his bending. Pretty much takes away his bending, and the crime boss flees to the water tribe and finds a wife and has him on, and his whole backstory begins. But here's my problem with that. But here's the problem with the crime boss, though. How the freak did he learn to bloodbend without a full moon? It's never explained. It's seriously never explained. I'm like, how the heck is he able to bloodbend without a full moon? Like, doesn't really make any sense to me. And it really doesn't make sense at all, because, like, in fact, how does he even learn how to bloodbend in the first place? Because if anyone who remembers the original series knows that Hama created this technique. Like, she created the art of bloodbending. Pretty much the only way, like, she created because she was freaking desperate, and she was desperate to get away from the Fire Nation, who were pretty much going to kill her. And she created bloodbending, and she used it, and she kept it a secret for years, until, you know, Katara came around, and she tried to convert Katara to using bloodbending, you know, trying to keep the tradition running, you know, between the southern waterbenders, specifically the southern waterbenders. She kind of doesn't like the North for not helping them out, but that's not the point. So pretty much the only people that, like, she's the one that came out with this technique. She taught it to no one else except Katara. And Katara literally swears to never do it. Like, after the episode where Katara's mother, after the episode where Katara tracks down the person who killed her mother, she used bloodbending in that episode, but after that episode, she swears to never use it again. And I assume this also includes never to teach it to anyone again. So Hama's tradition can truly die. But Hama never, like, she never freaking, like, I'm sorry, like the only people who knew about this technique that even existed was Katara and Hama. So how the freak did this random crime boss who had no relation to the Water Tribe previously, before he got his bending taken away, how did he know about bloodbending? How did he know how to bloodbend? Like, I don't understand how, especially he managed to evolve it to the point where he could bloodbend without a full moon. I'm like, yo, how the heck is he able to do that? It's never explained. It's like, okay, it's like a freaking problem. It's like, bruh, it's like, how in the world did he manage to even find this out? Like, it's not that big of a deal in the long run, but it's like, you know, it's a problem with season 1. It's a big gripe with season 1 that I have. The other gripe is the very, very end where Aang suddenly shows up and gives Katara the Avatar state, because in the finale, in this same episode, Oman grabs hold of Korra and takes away her bending, and is able to freaking, and the only element she has left is wind, which she learned after the fact. That's the only bending she can do. And out of nowhere, at the very end, Aang comes out, grants her not only the ability to bend, but also the Avatar state, which I guess she didn't have access to before. Okay. Which leads into season 2. It's kind of like a cop-out ending. I won't call it lazy, but it's kind of like a cop-out ending. But here's like the real pretty much it leads into season 2. That's pretty much the point. It leads into season 2. It's like kind of like, okay, it's a gripe, but overall, I really enjoyed season 1. I give it like a B plus. Like I actually really like episode 8. Of season 1, I loved that. Like it actually felt like an episode of the original Avatar. I loved that episode. It was really good. I also like the way Oman went out. Really cool. Really good. Again, I give it like a B plus. I'd say pretty good. Season 2, however, sucks. Season 2 is garbage. Season 2 is really bad. See, like before season 2, I was like, okay, what is everyone talking about? Like, it ain't that. It ain't. I'm like, season 1 wasn't that. Season 1 actually wasn't that bad. Like, what we're talking about, and then I get to season 2, I'm like, oh. I get to season 2, and I'm like, oh, that's what they're referring to. This season sucks. First of all, like from the very first episode, I just felt a significant drop in quality from the last episode of season 1 to this episode, to the episode of season to the first episode of season 2, and I immediately knew what it was too. It was the fact that Korra was different. Before, when I was watching season 1, I was like, okay, what is everyone talking about? Like Korra, Korra's not like Korra's cocky, she's not freaking but she's not freaking, like bratty. Like I don't hate her. Like I don't feel like she's like she's like, oh, this overconfident piece of crap. No. What people are referring to is season 2. Season 2 Korra is that overconfident, bratty piece of crap that everyone keeps talking about. Low-key, because it's like, why in the world am I... It's like, why in the world am I freaking... Like, why in the world am I freaking rooting for you when you're just this overconfident, bratty idiot that believes that she does everything right? It's like they actually ruined Korra's character. They actually ruined it from a likable, protagonist to like just a punk. I'm like, I don't like you. Now, like, because like in the first, literally, there's so much thing I'm gonna talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is the Avatar state. The Avatar state, in the first 5 minutes, she uses the Avatar state to race kids, to race Tanzan's freaking kids in an airbending race. She used the Avatar state to boost her power, and then freaking turns it off immediately. There is so many problems with this. First of all, why is she using the Avatar state like that? But that's the least of it. The thing I really want to talk about is the fact that in the season 2 only takes place like 3 weeks after season 1. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I'm like, how? Like, it took Aang to the last episode of the series to learn how to even turn off the Avatar state manually. It took Aang to the very last episode for him to even learn how to turn the Avatar state on. To turn the Avatar state off manually. She didn't learn how to freaking fully control it till like adulthood or something like that. Like it's like what the heck? Why the heck does he know this? Like, why the heck is he so freaking... Why is she so good at using this already? It like doesn't make sense to me. Like, how is she so good after 3 weeks when it took Aang like years to figure this crap out? Like, is Aang just a slow learner? I don't feel like I don't feel like he is. I just feel like they are like, no, I don't really wanna, we don't really wanna go through all the trouble of, you know, building up her character and showing her using the avatar. No, let's just skip to like 3 weeks later, and you know that's a sizable time jump for her to not only learn how to turn it on manually and off manually, but also learn and also control exactly what she does in the avatar state. And she boosts it on and on to raise children, and she actually she actually freaking abuses it, and it's like, what the heck? How did you learn how to do this? It's like, what? Like I don't get why the heck, how the heck she was able to do this so freaking fast. But guys, that is the least of my concerns in this season. The villain takes a significant step down from season 1. The villain in this season is like Korra's uncle, right? Pretty much what he wants to do, he pretty much has a way less interesting motivation. Pretty much what he wants to do is that he wants to, you know, so he wants to combine the overworld and the spirit world together, because in the original show it's revealed that the reason why the spirit world and the overworld are disconnected is because, you know, the spirits were pretty much going around tearing up crap and all that crap. And it's like how the heck, I'm just freaking rambling. I gotta freaking collect my thoughts. And like, it's like he wants to, and pretty much what he wants to, the reason why he wants to connect the spirit world and the overworld is because he wants to fuse with the dark spirit. And it's pretty much, the dark spirit is like this all evil spirit that makes a lot of dark spirits, and he wants to fuse with it to get all the 4 elements and become the Dark Avatar. The Dark Avatar, like, I'm like, okay, that's a pretty cool freaking, again, that's a less interesting motivation than Osam, but, you know, this could still be cool. Like, that's what I was thinking, like, okay, this could still be cool, like, you know, becoming the Dark Avatar and stuff like that, like, that could still be cool. And like, I'm like wondering, okay, well, he's gonna fuse with a whole dark spirit, like the darkest of the most evil spirit in existence in this universe. He's trying to merge with it, and become the dark. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro, what's the Dark Avatar gonna look like? Well, I don't know. It's gonna be some extraterrestrial being, some astronomical entity, of some freaking cosmic freaking villain. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro, it's gonna be so, man, it's gonna be so cool. Nah, like, pretty much here, like, oh my gosh. And the thing that makes Korra so freaking unlikable and so unbearable in this freaking season is the fact that she just goes with the uncle every step of the way until like halfway through his plan. I'm like, what? Why? Because she's actually willing to betray her own father only because the uncle told her this story of the fact that Korra's father was pretty much the leader of the town. Not leader of the town, like leader of the army of the town. Like, you know, he fends off raiders and stuff like that. And so pretty much raiders come one time, and the father and his army chases them down to the forest, which belongs to the spirits apparently, and they flood the entire forest. That's pretty much what they do. Like, the father just bloodthirsty and pretty much floods the entire forest he floods the entire forest to kill the barbarians, right? And so the spirits are angry Again, they were mad that, their entire forest just got flooded, so they came and attacked the Northern Water Tribe, their whole city and everything like that. And it's like so obvious with the twist, and this is supposed to be like a twist and everything. Like I'm like, it's so obvious that the uncle sent the spirits to freaking like attack. Like it's obvious the uncle had something to do with it. And oh my gosh, what a twist! He had something to do with it. It's like it was the most obvious thing ever. Like it's like of course he has something to do with it because he's the villain. In fact, the uncle's like supposed to, like I think he's supposed to be a twist villain. And I hope he's not. But if he is supposed to be a twist villain, y'all did a horrible job. Cause I could predict that this sucker was. I could predict that this sucker was the villain from actual. I actually predicted that he was the villain from the first time I saw him. I was like, okay, he's the villain, because they did all the villainy tropes and cliches and all that, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, man, like Korra just believes him, the uncle, just all the way through. I'm like, why? You have no reason to. What are you doing? Like you're gonna betray your own father, but for your uncle, who, like it's like what? Like why? Like oh, it's unreal. Like even like the uncle's manipulation is not even good. Again, it's just that one story, and she's like, man, uncle, man, you so right, bro. My father's such a bad person. It's like, what? Like the manipulation is not even written well. It's like, bro, like it's not like Joker from the Dark Knight. Like it's not that manipulation. Like it's just hey, I told you this story about something bad your father did. Come with me and help me finish him or whatever. I'm like, and she's like, okay. I'm like, wow. I'm like, wow, Korra, you unloyal. But yeah, like season 2 is just like a big bummer and a big freaking disappointment. However, there's only 2 things I like about season 2. There are 2 things I liked about season 2, alright? And that's the twins. Era and Eska. Era and Eska are freaking, they were, I don't know if I'm saying the boy's name right, but Eska, I know the girl's name is Eska. Era and Eska is freaking hilarious. They were great characters. They were actually legitimately really good and really fun characters. And the reason why they were so fun is because they're like so freaking weird. They're so freaking weird that it's like it's very enjoyable. As for like the side characters, apart from like Korra and the uncle and the villain and all that, the freaking the writer just said, oh yeah, we don't freaking know what to do with them. Screw it. Just make Bolin become a freaking movie star, and make Mako a cop who's trying to figure out who bombed Republic City or whatever. Because Republic City gets bombed like halfway through the season, and he's like, oh well, now I have something to do, and it ends up being this guy who they later end up teaming up with in season 3, so it doesn't even matter. It's like they really didn't know. And Asami's like freaking KIA, not KIA, AFK, like Asami just AFK for literally the entire season. Like she didn't do any. Like I think the most, like she like appears at like the first episode and then never appears until like 5 episodes in. Where something happens to her father's business, which she currently runs because her father is a dirty trader or whatever, and it's like oh my gosh. But again, bro, I like there are 2 things I like: the twins. They're the only 2 things I liked about season 2, and pretty much, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say about Season 1, Season 2. Stay tuned for next time when I review Season 3 and Season 4. That's going to be a doozy. If I were to give season 2 a grade, it'd be a D. Again, if it weren't for Aaronesca, I would for surely give this an F, because this series season 2 was freaking terrible. Season 2 is freaking terrible. Like, huge step down from freaking season 1, in my opinion. Yeah, guys, so, pretty much I had to re-record this part because I freaking deleted the other audio clips like an idiot. So that's why my voice is kind of tired right now. But, yeah, guys, so, Lone Games guy out. Stay tuned. Bye. I'm tired. I need some water. Bye.